Okay, are we live? Yep. Alright, boys, we live. What is up? What is up, Vault Watchers? This is not a drill. This is not a troll. Path of Exile has released another update. See my live dashboard right now. You can see Transfigure Gems Part 4 is here. But before we go through that, I'm gonna have a look at Part 3 first because I haven't seen it yet. Right? So, let's have a look. Here's a third batch of Transfigured Gems coming in Path of Exile Affliction. Check them out. Purifying Flame of Revelations. Oh, they did something with Purifying Flame. Divine Fire deals damage in the line, then creates consecrated ground and deals damage in an area around the target location. A larger shockwave then expands outwards, damaging enemies on consecrated ground that were not all. Oh, so it's like a double explosion after it hits the area. Nice. Purifying Flame Totems could come back because of that. Pyroclast Mine of Sabotage. Throws a mine that deals damage in an area when detonated, then launches fire projectiles that rain down around it, each exploding deal damage in a smaller area. Base mine detonation time. See if enemies near it. Oh, let's have a look at Pyroclast Mine on the wiki. Let's see if there's a big difference. Let's have a look. So here is Pyroclast Mine. So it has 24 mana, cast time, crit strike, quality, base damage 62 to 94. Each mine adds additional fire damage up to a maximum of 1/8. Fires an additional projectile for every 4 prior mines in detonation sequence. Okay. So it's a smaller base, but I think it looks like you're rewarded for using more of it more frequently. This is nice. Rage Vortex of Berserking. Okay. Spin with a sword or axe to deal damage in an area around you. If you have at least 10 rage, create a rage storm attached to you that repeatedly deals attack damage to enemies inside based on your attack speed. Oh, that's cool. That's almost like... It's like, instead of pushing out the rage vortex, it sticks to you, almost like Cyclone. It's almost like you have a right-click Cyclone AoE. That's cool. That's nice. Raise Spectre of Transience. Raises a spectral version of a defeated foe as a temporary minion to fight for you in a battle for a duration. Oh, for a duration. I think that's the difference. It has a duration. What is that increased crit strike? What? Is that normal with raised specters? No, it isn't. Wow. So it's like your huge burst of damage. Very interesting. Zombie of Slamming. Raises a zombie minion from a corpse, which will follow you and attack enemies with a melee strike and an area of effect slam, which cannot be... Oh, so this is where the zombie slam went. Ah, they removed it from the skill. Oh, that's kind of a nerf. Here's the zombie of falling. What should those have? how do you scale the damage of the zombie of falling, right? You scale it by life because it technically dies? How does that work? Scorching ray of immolation. Unleash a beam of fire that burns enemies it touches. Remaining in the beam raises the burning, adding a portion of the beam's damage in stages. Yeah, pretty normal. Enemies who leave the beam continue to burn for a duration. Increasing cast speed also increases the rate at which the beam turns. Sounds a bit normal. Let's see though. Beam length, skill effect duration. Let me move my sail. Oh. There we go. Okay. So regular scorching rays like that. Immolation deals 1/8 fire damage per second. Oh, pretty high. Additional debuff stages add 14%. Oh. So it removes the fire exposure. See, it removes the fire exposure and it's lowered the additional damage or more base fire damage. Okay. Shattering steel of ammunition. Swing an axe or sword consuming steel shards to gain a steel ward that protects you for a duration, and fire projectiles which shatter on impact or soon after being launched. Oh, it's like... sounds like I have an animate weapon. Okay, that looks interesting. You guys can pause the video in the future if you're watching. We'll have a look at it next time. Shield Crush of the Chieftain. Base offhand fire damage, added fire damage per 15 armor on shield. Deals up to 10% more damage with hits to closer targets. Oh, that's nice. So it looks like the elemental shield crush inquisitor that we're thinking about can actually work. That's good. Siege Ballista of Splintering. Summons a ballista totem that attacks with forking arrows. So it's basically transitioning from your... basically like from your... what was that again? Your shrapnel ballista. The shrapnel ballistas are basically the same as what that does, right? Well, I mean, it forks, but... Interesting. Smite of Divine Judgment. Oh, this is what the Animate Guardian uses. Performs a melee attack, causes lightning to strike nearby enemies, dealing damage in an area. Each target can only be hit once by this skill. Sword, axe. Oh, can only be hit once. Well, I mean, it gives a little bit more clear. It has built-in ancestral call. Soul Rend of Reaping. Fires a projectile that deals chaos damage to enemies it hits and leeches some of that damage as energy shield. That's nice. And Soul Rend of the Spiral. Wow. What is this insane damage increase? Look at the effectiveness of added damage in the crit strike. It's 400% and 7% crit compared to just a measly 170%. Oh, that is insane. That's really strong. And it also has a very, very good base damage value. Holy! But it doesn't pierce. While this, Soul Rend of the Spiral, fires a series of projectiles in a spiral that turn towards enemies in front of them, damaging and piercing through those they hit. Oh. It leeches some of that damage to enemy shield. As the projectiles travel, they repeatedly apply a short but powerful chaos damage over time debuff to each enemy in an area around them. So basically, this one is the strong clearing skill, this one is the strong single target skill. Look at that, 400%! Oh my god! That's gonna hurt so much. Like, that is literally gonna hurt so much. Like, wow. Spark of the Nova? Ah! Spark is built, or Nova, the Nova skill is now, or like the Nova augment for Spark is now built in. That's cute. A lot of extra a lot of base projectiles. 14? Damn. Spark of Unpredictability launches sparks that move randomly with large differences in speed and distance until they hit an enemy or expire. Ooh, that's cute. Spectral Shield Throw of Shattering. Okay, so what is this? Cold. Oh, cold damage. Oh, that's cool. That's actually quite nice. So you have the Shield Crush for strength based, and you have Spectral Shield Throw for dexterity based. Nice. Split Arrow of Splitting. Is that a meme? I think that's a meme. Fires an arrow that splits to hit different targets. Splitting Steel of Ammunition. It's basically the same as earlier. Summon Chaos Golem of the Maelstrom. Ooh, it has a chance to apply Wither. Wow. That's actually very helpful. So you don't need to place like a Wither Totem. You could just try and buff your Chaos Golem for that. Golem of the Meteor. Summons a Flame Golem. When summoned, the Flame Golem attacks by falling from the sky. Deadly damage in an area and leave it burning ground. So basically, oh, excuse me. So basically, the golems that you see in Calm's world are castable now. Ice Golem of Hordes. You can make map. You can have 3? Ooh, that's nice. Raging Spirit of Enormity. Short-lived Flaming Skull. Base duration is 5 seconds. 6 Raging Spirits. More maximum life. Hits are always crits. 40% crit multi. Oh my god. Yeah, that is enormous. Can confirm. Holy. Reaper of Revenants. More Reaper. That's cool though. That's cute. Holy, you're gonna have more than one Reaper. You're gonna have 3 of them running around. You can feed them the skeletons. That's cool. That's cool. Wow. It's really cool. That's cool. Okay, so Reaper of Eviscerating. Using this skill while the Reaper is already summoned, causes it to dash to the targeted location and perform a powerful attack. Oh, that's cool. So you can dash it with this is more controllable. This one isn't. And it has actually a pretty insane amount of bleeding. Wow. Wow. Summon skeletons of archers. Oh, you can specify what ranged skeleton will show up. Oh, that's cool. You can already have 3 mages immediately. Sunder of Earthbreaking. Slams the ground, dealing a wave of turning terrain that damages enemies in a sequence of areas in front of you. The number of enemies hit by the wave will release a shockwave, damaging other enemies around them. Oh, that's nice. That's gonna be pretty good clear. Cause shockwave goes forward. If it hits an enemy, it also ripples out. That's nice. That's gonna be extra clear. And then, you know, it's like if you have Herald of if that's like a cold sunder and you have Herald of Ice, that could be a pretty quick clearing. Void Sphere. Oh, I forgot we had this skill. Creates a void sphere which hinders enemies in an area around it. With the debuff being stronger and enemies closer to the sphere, yeah, that's pretty normal. It also regularly pulses at damage. Void sphere will consume the corpse of any enemies which die in its area. It can only have 1 void sphere at a time. I don't see the difference. Oh, the damage is pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. Volcanic Fissure of Snaking. Oh, this is like the abyssal ground. Slam the ground, creating a winding fissure that deals damage in air. So it's basically, you know, moves forward. That's cute. Vortex of Projection. An icy blast explodes around the caster, dealing cold damage to enemies and leaving behind a whirling vortex, which deals cold damage over time and chills enemies caught in it. If the caster targets near the frostbolt projectiles, it will explode from a number of those projectiles instead, destroying them. Ooh. That'd be pretty interesting on that one. And even has more area of effect and more damage from frostbolt. Wow. Wild Strike of Extremes. Effective disadvantage damage is pretty big. Holy. Your melee weapon strikes enemies, converting physical damage to a random element. Then, depending on the element chosen, it releases a fiery explosion, arcing bolt, or an icy wave. It will avoid choosing the same element twice in a row. Ah. Hits treat enemy monster elemental resistance values as inverted. Ooh. So you can increase their resistance and then this will invert that. Wow. Pretty interesting. I like the shield crush and the spectral shield throw the most. And I'm curious about the soul rend of reaping. This is, wow, that's insane. And the purifying flame as well. That one, I like really think that the purifying flame of revelations can add a little bit more to the meta. I think it may return as a totem build or something similar. That's pretty strong. A double explosion. Pretty strong. And the Spectre of Transience. Not sure how you can make that work, but I'm sure Gazi will make some sort of way to make it work. But enough of that. Let's go to part 4. Holy, okay, right now what do we see? We see we see 2 different lacerates. We see 2 different lacerates, boys. We see more golems. We see the brands. We see ball lightning. We see exsanguinate. Let's have a look. Animate weapon of ranged arms. Animates a ranged weapon item or lingering blade. Or a lingering blade? That's from Bladefall. Holy. Can use items requiring up to level 100. Animated lingering blades become bows. Ooh. That's a new way to play Bladefall. What the hell? It's interesting. Minions attack deal 126 to 184 fizz damage. Animated lingering blades deal... Oh, they're a little bit smaller. Maximum of 16. Minions have 38% more attack speed. Animate weapon of self-reflection. Animates a copy of your main hand melee weapon to fight by your side. Oh. It's interesting to see, like, if you're a melee build and you have this. It's gonna be hard though. You have to remember, if I'm not mistaken, you sacrifice a weapon for this. Oh, I mean, if it animates a copy. That's pretty interesting though. It's almost like General's Cry. Armageddon brand of recall. Creates a magical brand which can attach to a nearby enemy. It periodically activates while attached, causing a fiery meteor to fall from the sky. The brand will detach if the enemy dies. Increases and reductions to cast speed also apply to this skill's activation frequency. Activates every 1.5 seconds while attached. Can be attached for a total duration. Deal 80% less damage with hits against branded enemy. I guess because you have to keep reapplying it. Or I think it's because you have to stack it up as well. Armageddon brand of volatility creates a magical brand which can attach to a nearby enemy. It activates once, causing... Oh, now this one is just instant. Oh, okay. Okay, I got you. Oh my god, and it even has a huge extra level of effective added damage, plus the crit. Damn. Ball lightning of orbiting. Modifiers to number of projectiles do not apply to this skill. Base radius is 2.2 meters. Fires a single projectile which moves in a spiral while damaging each enemy in an area around it repeatedly with bolts of lightning. So it circles around you instead of going forwards, is that right? Ooh, it would have been great if you could increase the number of projectiles. Just holy, we're gonna have a lot of balls. Damn. Modified excuse me, that's a big problem. Modifiers to number of projectiles do not apply to this skill, so I'm thinking even if you put GMP, no matter what you try and do, you're not gonna get any extras. So I think this is just best to like curse enemies with much like Orb of Storms. Creates a ball of lightning at a location that damages each enemy in an area around it repeatedly with bolts of lightning. Cannot be supported by spell echo. Oh, so it just stands there like Orb of Storms. That's pretty interesting. Ethereal knives of lingering blades. Fires an arc of knives in front of the caster which deal physical damage, cannot be supported by volley. So it has a pretty good amount of fizz damage. Each projectile 5 remains in the ground as a lingering... Ooh, so you can use it to create your lingering blades. If I can remember correctly, ethereal knives doesn't typically do that. That's cool. Exsanguinate of transmission. Releases a tendril of blood from your character which will target an enemy in front of you. Then chain to other enemies. The tendril deals physical damage and inflicts a physical damage over time debuff, which can stack up to 3 times. Chains 21 times. I just read that whole one. Wow. That's That's like Val Exsanguinate. Or like if Arc became 5th DOT. Oh my god. Fire trap of blasting. Throws a trap that explodes when triggered, dealing fire damage to surrounding enemies. So that is... Wait a minute, I want to see the comparison. Fire trap. Let's have a look at the comparison, guys. So 6% crit chance, 260% effectiveness of added damage. So it's still the same. Fire damage values are what? Smaller. Increased trap trigger area of effect. I think that may be one of their additional parts. 50% chance for trap to trigger an additional time. Is that there? Ooh, it's not there. Yes. So that is also their main part. So it can... There's a chance for it to explode again. And it has added fire damage against burning enemies. That's bigger as well. Ooh, very interesting. Very interesting. I think that'll be like your main fire trap skill to use if you want to decrease or if you want to increase your fire damage to enemies. Nice. Frenzy of Onslaught. Consume all frenzy charges when you hit an enemy while at maximum frenzy charges to gain onslaught for 1 second per charge consumed. Ooh. That's nice, actually. You know, it gives you constant ways to keep getting your onslaught. But then again, raiders automatically have it anyway. Ice Trap of Hollowness. Throws a trap that creates a series of icy runic explosions in a circle around itself when triggered, dealing cold damage to all enemies caught in the blast. Effectiveness of added damage, 340. That's big cold damage. Big base value. I think that's what it is. I'm lucky I didn't read all of that. Yeah, the additional time. And then the cold damage. Yeah, it's bigger cold damage. Chance to detonate again. Basically like a bossing skill. Now, here we go. Lacerate. What is this? Slashes twice, releasing wide waves of force that damages enemies they hit. Enemies in the middle of the slashes can be hit by both. Requires a two-handed axe or... Whoa! So it requires you to use a bigger weapon, a two-handed weapon. Whoa, the effectiveness of added damage is huge. Look at that. But the attack speed is way slower now. Whoa. Damn, Blaze is gonna have a good time with this. Wow. Wow. That's big. Damn. Lacerate of Hemorrhage requires a one-handed axe this time. Let's see. Slashes twice, releasing waves of force that damage enemies they hit. Enemies in the middle of the slashes can be hit by both. Yeah. Alright. More damage with... Wow, that's a big portion of more damage with bleeding. What the hell? Woo! Ooh. And it even has an additional flat damage against bleeding enemies. Ooh. Woof. So yeah, whatever you go for, guys, Lacerate is gonna be fun. We're gonna make a separate video of this later. lightning trap of sparking. Throws a trap that launches projectiles through the enemy that set it off, dealing lightning damage to them and subsequent targets. Okay. Projectiles can chain when colliding with terrain. Oh. Projectiles pierce all targets. Yes, basically like spark. That's cool. Reeve of Refraction. Attacks an area in front of you. Each reeve that hits an enemy grants stages, which you will begin to lose after a short period without hitting anything. Only works with daggers, claws, and one-handed swords. Sword exclusive. It's an elemental reeve. Holy! Oh, I didn't know this was seismic trap. Throws a trap which, once triggered, releases a number of waves. Each wave deals damage in a series of small bursts in a line, ending with a larger burst. Oh, that's cool. So it's like linear. Damn. Spectral throw of materializing. Throws a spectral copy of a melee weapon. It flies out and then returns to you in a spinning attack that only damages while returning. Really? Ooh, okay. So it'll only deal damage if it's coming back. It has reduced projectile deceleration. Okay, so it means it can go farther. And projectiles that have pierced will deal 10% more damage. Storm brand of indecision. What? Creates a magical brand which can attach to a nearby enemy. It periodically activates while attached, firing a beam which deals damage to the branded enemy and those around it. The brand will detach if the enemy dies. It's basically the same as the Armageddon brand of recall, but it also attaches to a new enemy after activating no more than once every 0.3 seconds. So it can, it's a great clearing skill if that's the case. Wow. Stormbind of teleportation. Excuse me. Channel to spread runes on the ground in a growing pattern. The runes fade away after a duration or will be immediately removed and deal damage in a circular area when detonated by a rune blast. Enemies standing on the runes are hindered, reducing their movement speed. Look at the tags on this thing. Spell, AoE, channeling, lightning, duration, arcane, movement, travel, blink. What? So you deal that amount of lightning damage, pretty good guys. Base duration is 12 seconds, reduce moving speed. Runes have 40% more area of effect per improvement. Runes deal 100% more damage with hits and ailments per improvement. Holy. And then channel to improve runes placed by Stormbind. Based on the mana you spend channeling this skill. Release to detonate the targeted rune, which will cause other runes to detonate in a chain reaction. Detonation can teleport you to the targeted rune. A lot of words right there. Teleport to the detonated rune if you have not detonated any runes in the past 1 second. Summon Chaos Golem of Horde. You can have 3 Chaos Golems. Ooh. And 3 Flame Golems. And you have Ice Golem of Shattering. Summons an Ice Golem. The Ice Golem can use an Icy Barrage spell and a chilling spinning attack in addition to its melee attack. If reduced to low life, it'll trigger a spell to destroy itself to deal duration, dealing spell damage in a larger area. The explosion of the corpse is not affected by modifiers to spell damage and cannot be reflected. Oh. So you basically cannot increase the damage that easily. Huh. Volatile dead of seething. Corpses near the targeted location explode, dealing damage in a small area and creating an orb which moves towards nearby enemies before dealing spell damage in a larger area. The explosion of the corpse is not affected by modifiers to spell that. Okay. That's cool though. And this one can move. Ooh. This one can consume 3, but this one can consume 10. Yeah, that's all very interesting. Oh my god. But the lacerate changes. What the hell? Yeah, Blaze is gonna have an amazing time with this. So yeah guys, that has been it. Let me know what you Let me know what you think about in the comments. Like, what is this? What is all of this? Only the last. Oh my god, the lacerate. I cannot express the changes to the lacerate. Yeah, look, lacerate has two versions. The first one is exclusively for two-handed melee weapons. Look at the attack speed. You reduce the attack speed, but you have immense added damage. Look. And you also have huge AoE. So you have 40% of base, but you have 300% attack damage and 310% effectiveness of added damage. Whoa. That's big. It has another 2.8 meters, 2.8 meters to radius, and a 50% increased angle. The flat phase is gone because they moved it to the one-handed version of lacerate. Look, now it's focused more on bleeding because this one has 172% more damage with bleeding, 25% chance to cause bleeding innate. So that means you don't have to worry about any additional chance to bleed, at least. And that's where you find the flat physical damage against bleeding enemies. Let's go log in. Hell yeah, look at that. Yeah, that's a unique thing that they've done though. It's like lacerate of butchering will require a two-handed axe or two-handed sword, while lacerate of hemorrhage requires a one-handed axe or one-handed sword. So you can't swap them over to each other. They have to be weapon type specific, which is very interesting. Interesting take. But no gladiator buffs. Where are the gladiator buffs? Hey, GGG? Huh? Talking about that? Hmm? Yeah, this is very interesting though. Especially here, you just have to focus on getting your... You just have to focus on getting even more attack speed. You don't need to worry about getting the damage up too much, because that is just insane. That 310% of base. Oh, that is big. That's big. Holy. And let me have a look. I think they increased the attack speed for the one-handed lacerate as well. Let me have a look. Only huge screen clear builds. That is true. But let's have a look. Yeah, they did increase the attack speed of lacerate. The one-handed lacerate has been buffed in attack speed. It's 120% of base attack damage, which was so yeah, they nerfed the effectiveness of added damage cap, because this is at 120 at level 20, but the attack speed is at 80% of base. So it's encouraging you to try and go for more damage base, or yeah, to go for more flat damage, or to go for more damage based weapons instead of the higher attack speed ones. Log in, make a new guide. Shield and axe now will blow up. Yeah, very interesting to see that, right? Runic hatchet, yeah. Very, very interesting. Yeah, damn. So yeah, that is basically been it. That's just a short stream, guys. We're gonna make a short highlight video as well about the two new lacerate versions, because for me that is the most interesting part of those. And we're gonna cover that. We're just gonna make some we're gonna make a quick video about that. And yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think about it. Blaze, as you can see, is very, very happy about it. Very, very curious. I'm curious if they're gonna have a part 5 later on today, because if that happens, we're gonna get on top of it. We will. You can league start with lacerate now. Yeah, literally. If you get the transfigured version of lacerate, because that is the transfigured version though. Yeah, That's still pretty interesting. Like, as you can see here, it doesn't say anything about well, it only has that, the added attack physical damage. But it's actually a little higher. So that's very interesting. And the more damage with bleeding. Look, it's almost doubled. The 88% more damage with bleeding while in blood stance. While this is already giving you 172%. Oh my god. That's huge. That's huge. That's huge DPS. This makes me want to make a lacerate bleed this league. One-handed lacerate bleed build. Oh. But yeah, this does change things. This does change things for lacerate. And hopefully though, since this has already given us a very good change for lacerate, I'm curious to see if they're going to show an update for Bladestorm, because the Bladestorm of Uncertainty is... But yeah, this is very interesting. Crafting guide almost complete. Oh, that's great. Perfect. So yeah, we're all going to be ready by league start. But I'm not sure if I can be league starting at day one itself. Oh, I'm going to be busy. Anyway. But yeah. That has been it, guys. I am gonna go and make the video. Blaze, you enjoy your new damage calculations on POB. And I will enjoy making this short video about these two different versions of lacerate that we're gonna have. Let's go. Oh yeah, and I will be live on Twitch later. I'm gonna play there as well. I'm not sure what I'm gonna play, but we are gonna play and we are gonna be live. See y'all there. By the way, okay. Wait a minute, before I end, by the way, yes. What is that? Blood and sand is not needed now. Yeah, I mean, well, technically we never really used blood and sand. Flesh and stone is what we were wanting to go for, right? Oh yeah, that is true though. It doesn't highlight whether or not it needs a stance. It's just such a strong stance skill that, you know, given how it works, we may still want to use it. You know, because it gives you a little bit of durability while in sand stance, and well, with blood stance you get to maim enemies, so you know, maybe we'll see some significance. But yeah, at least it doesn't require you to have it, you know. It enables you to at least try other things, which is nice, So yeah, I will put that out as a point as well in the video. Yeah, that is true. All right, so that is it, guys. I'm gonna go. We are gonna leave and we're gonna come back. This though, butchering. But yeah, all right, see y'all on Twitch very soon.